everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Let's get right to it. So at Dr. Finn's, he calls Felix to ask him to send over patient files for his current patients, and Felix tells him his patients have been reassigned, and Dr. Finn's like, yeah, I know, I just want to keep up with them. So Felix agrees to send them, and Dr. Finn promises that he'll take full responsibility for whatever happens. And Tracy calls. She's upset that he's been reassigned and she has a new doctor. And he says he's spoken to the doctor and the doctor will follow his protocol. But he tells her if she really has that much of an issue to cancel, and he's going to be in the area. So at the hospital, Felix wonders why he always has to help and why no one brightens his day. And I'm like, AKA, why am I always a supporting character? Don't get my own storyline, even though I'm awesome. But Sabrina comes in, and she tells him no charges have been brought against her. So Felix shows her the paper. It has Alexis being arrested for Carlos's murder. It's the headline, front page. Thank you, ECAT. Why do you come over when I'm filming? You're hilarious. This is twice in one day. This is not a fluke. Those are her whiskers. Thank you, ECAT. So Felix tells her that he is sorry for her loss. She really thought that she could change Carlos, and he suggests that maybe get back together with Michael, and he definitely wants to talk about that possibility more. So she's afraid that Michael's not being honest with himself, and even though he's good with Teddy, he only sees Carlos. But Felix reminds her that Michael never had a problem with the paternity. It was that she lied to him. And yeah, what did you do? All right, at the PCPD, someone sent Anna flowers. It's from Sawyer, and the card reads as such: Anna, please forgive me. Only an emergency appendectomy could keep me from meeting you. Allow me to make it up to you on Saturday night. Sawyer. Paul comes in and has to comment on the flowers. He's like that annoying guy who always has to comment on everything. And he says, she tells him they're from Sawyer. And a part of me thinks that Sawyer is Paul. I don't know, just a little part. I hope not, but I don't know. So of course, Paul then has to comment on that when Anna says that she's going to give him a second chance. Diane comes into the interrogation room. Alexis isn't there, and she wants to know what happened. So Diane runs down exactly what it looks like, and her plan is to pull apart everything from the actual evidence to the people who collected it to the DA to just tear everything apart. And she assures her that she will go free. And Diane and Alexis come out. The mayor comes over and calls Alexis a hypocrite and just called her a murderer too. Totally, not even the possibility she's innocent. She's going full steam ahead. So the mayor wants to talk to Paul before he heads off to the arraignment. The mayor tells him to go after no bail, and he says it'll be easier on her. It'll be easier if they kind of go not easy on her, but they work up a relationship so she'll testify against Julian. But the mayor says that Alexis mocked her and she needs to be put in her place. That's literally definition of abuse of power, which is what you were accused of. So just saying. So the arraignment happens. They come back to the police station, and Diane got $10,000 bail, which, if you're not familiar, is just an extraordinarily low amount of bail, especially for a murder suspect. So Paul did go after no bail, and the judge saw that as him being very over the top and cruel, so she set it super low and handed Diane an easy victory. So Anna wants to talk to Alexis. She agrees. Anna says that her hands are tied. She knows that Alexis did do it, but her hands are tied. But Alexis's aren't. So there has to be contradictory evidence at her house, and she can tear her house apart and find something. At the Metro Court, so a million years ago, I had something to say, and I don't think I said it. But Julian, so here's just my little, brain I need to tell you. So Julian can't take responsibility for his own crime, but, Sonny put himself on the line for Michael and went on trial for a crime that he didn't commit and was actually nowhere near. Fully knowing the judge and jury and prosecutor were going to jump at the chance to bury him. The same thing with Jason. he got himself sent to prison on purpose to protect Michael, yet Julian can't confess to a crime he actually committed to protect someone he claims to love. Just saying. So back to our regularly scheduled recap. I can't talk today. Carly and Sunny are talking about Alexis at the bar. Julian comes by, didn't mean to stop. Sunny kind of grabbed him, and Julian asks him why it's any of his business. I don't know, maybe because she's the mother of one of his children, and he's the uncle to another one of her children. It's complicated, and yeah, especially when it comes to Sam. So Sunny calls him a coward to his face, and now Alexis knows it. So that's over. They sit down at a table, and Michael comes to join them. He asks about Morgan, and he picks up that there's something wrong, and they're like, it's not about Morgan, it's about Julian. Carly wants to change the subject. Michael says he's headed to ELQ. The Nicholas lawsuit has been tabled, so the company can move on for right now. Carly thinks that Michael shouldn't continue on with Sabrina, and he says maybe there could be a future there, which kind of sends Carly into a little bit of a tizzy, because Michael wants to be in her and her son's life, and Carly's not having any of it. She thinks that's the worst idea she's ever heard in the history of the world, but Sunny wants her to stay out of it. So Michael leaves, and Carly feels like Sabrina is playing Michael, and she sees him like as a convenience, like, plan B now that Carlos is dead. And Sunny tells her that they need to step back or they're going to wind up pushing them together and doing the exact opposite of what they want. At the Quartermains, Dr. Finn makes a house call. Tracy still cannot believe he's suspended, and Monica comes in, and Dr. Finn kind of gives her a little smile, like, hey, hi. So Tracy takes full responsibility. Monica, I can't read. Monica says that his phone calls to the hospital need to stop, and house calls too, because he's not allowed to practice in or out of a hospital. And she gets a page. Who gets a page anymore? Or a text message. It was probably a text message. Sounded like a page. But it's a board member wanting a meeting about insubordination of a doctor. Wonder who that could be about. So Michael comes in with a baby swing, and he goes to get Teddy to play with it. And Dr. Finn tells her she's going to make a complete recovery. Tracy, sorry. Woo, off in my own world. Michael comes back with Teddy. He thinks that something's wrong. Dr. Finn says Teddy needs to be brought to the hospital right away. Did anyone get that Silas Clay feeling? Like looking at him? I don't know. Because honestly, for no other reason other than he played that character. But he specialized in pediatric, or at least he did with Danny. Like, I don't remember. It was too long ago for me to remember. But I was like, oh, Michael Easton. I'm so glad they brought him back. Back in the hospital, Sabrina doesn't know what she wants. Her life literally changed so dramatically so fast. Dr. Finn. See, you think that's an accident, but I literally wrote that so I wouldn't forget to do that, and I've revealed that to you. Art is a lie. Oh, Bo Burnham. I've been watching way too much Bo Burnham lately. Anyway, so Dr. Finn comes in with Teddy. Michael and Tracy say the baby's sick and they need help, and Sabrina is just shocked, right? So back at Julexis's house, this is where it gets interesting. So it's been interesting. I didn't mean that as, you know what I mean. Anyway, so Julian comes back home to pack. Molly and Christina aren't there. And the paper with Alexis's headline is on the table, so presumably they saw it. And Ghost Carlos is back. Woo! So Ghost Carlos is one of my favorite versions of Carlos, because he can just torment people without consequence. And, honestly, obviously he's leaving the show because he's dead, but I wish Ghost Carlos could stay around for a really long time, just unrelated things too. Just have him in the background and have him comment on stuff, be it a film noir where he comes and talks straight to camera. Please do that, General Hospital. So he doesn't disappoint. He taunts him about Alexis turning him in. Julian admits to feeling backed into a corner. And I'm like, see, Ghost Carlos could get answers that no one else can. He doesn't see a way out. And Carlos says there's always a way out. Ghost Carlos says, are you suggesting what I think you are? Because I think I love you. So Julian says he won't hurt Alexis. She loves him unconditionally. And we're all sitting here really? She literally was about to turn you in for murder had you not I can't. So Ghost Carlos said it to him though. He's like, are you kidding me? No, she doesn't. Alexis will throw you to the wolves. And I just caught a parallel. I'll tell you about it in a second. So Julian's father gets brought up, and Julian says, he won't be like him. His father saw love as a weakness, and he won't be like that. He promises he won't. But in my opinion, if living Carlos was as brazen and strong and as outspoken as Ghost Carlos, then he could have been a boss instead of like an enforcer type deal. But anyway, so Carlos says Julian went back to the organization the first chance he got because he loves it. You know, the Ava thing was just an excuse. He didn't like having a quiet life. And Ghost Carlos says he knows what he needs to do. He killed him because he was a threat. Love and loyalty are just words to him. And he'll do anything to save himself. And I think that's the huge difference between him and Sonny. That Julian is very which, I mean, obviously, people are going to look out for themselves. It's not a criticism. It's just, you know, I don't know. And now end scene. Woo. So Felix leads them to an empty exam room, and Monica comes over, and Michael and Tracy are like, oh. Paul tells the mayor what happened. The judge thought he was being excessive. And he says he's going to make sure Carlos's killer goes to prison. He doesn't say Alexis, which I think is very apt. But there's a moment before that when Diane is kind of gloating to Paul. Paul's like, what, were you raised by wolves? And then she howls at him. And then thinking back where Carlos says, I know it's a saying, but Carlos like says she's going to throw you to the wolves. And I don't know. Anyway. Wolves were brought up twice within like 15 minutes, so I feel like I needed to point it out. Carlos doesn't believe Sabrina is someone she can hate. You know, she can't dig into her because she's so passive. Like Sabrina's not doing anything intentionally. She's leaning back on Michael as a convenience, and it's not something you can go after someone for. Sabrina's not the kind of person you can attack, you know, because you'll look like the bad guy whether you are or not. And I don't think Sabrina is purposely falling back to Michael. I think she honestly did make a decision she regrets, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they were cool together. You know, I had nothing against them. I think I liked them as a couple. This is so long ago. I need a better memory if I'm going to do stuff like this. If only someone made recap videos I could watch. Alright, so Anna comes over to Sunny and Carly. She wants to work with Sunny. She tells them what happened at the arraignment. Julian didn't even show up. And they all have the same hope that this finally turned her. And Alexis comes into her house. Ghost Carlos is right behind her. And there's an awkward kind of exchange between her and Julian. And then I think that was the end. Maybe. I think the news waited till the very last second. But the world is collapsing, apparently. England decided to leave the European Union, so the Dow is collapsing. People who know more about that stuff, like, it sounds like it's bad. I think they're trying to recall a vote, but this isn't Carly Recaps the News. So I think that was the end of the episode. It seemed like a good place to end it. I'm not sure. So if anyone got a seat after that, please let me know. But it is Friday. Yes. Oh, I have work in like a half hour. I gotta go. But I will see you Monday for War General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.